was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, and welcome to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined my guy, Spin More.
Hello, RIP John Kloss.
Rest in peace, John Kloss. Nicholas Koloff.
Let's
Smash that
go.
like button. What up?
Hockey Town is back.
Hockey Town is back. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. Yeah, Hockey Town is back. We got tons of that, and we're gonna talk a little bit Tigers too. Honestly, maybe a little bit more than a little bit of Tigers. I can't believe myself last night. Had a Pistons game on that I'm a football, basketball guy, and MMA. You throw in there too, but obviously this is like a Detroit sports station. Not talking too much MMA. That's my bread and butter. Last night, even though the Pistons played,
What's your meat and potatoes?
my meat and potatoes, football, and basketball. But last night, while the Pistons were playing, Spinny, I'll tell you what, I found myself with hockey on the television, baseball on the phone,
Yeah, brother.
and women's college basketball on the lappity top.
That's where you lose me.
You were working out, but it was a good game. And it was worth it. You ain't gonna discredit Caitlin Clark. She's her.
He's her.
It's weird to say, but she is. Yeah, stop trying to deny her greatness.
She's a great shooter of basketball.
She is a very great shooter of the basketball. She'll be hitting with the too. Angel Reese fouled out.
She has some nice step backs.
Yeah, it's what she does.
Yes, it is.
She's good. You know, she slangs that thing sometimes too. You know, making her assists and whatnot. Nick, I know you're doing the same. Actually, you got to join the Pistons too, though, because you were at Beat-Ups.
Yeah, I did pop in there for a little bit so I could watch basically Tigers, Red Wings, women's college basketball, and then the Pistons were the fourth on that list of everything. Talking about those Pistons, though, I heard one of our guys was in the building.
We did have someone in the
Did
building.
we?
We had boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Missed a show for a Piston game is what I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I had some business to take care of, so I went to a Pistons game. It was April Fool's. My life is a joke, so I went to see the Pistons, the biggest joke in town. And like the Pistons, do all season. They're up early. This time they were up all the way until the fourth quarter, continued to blow it because Duran injured his mouth in the first quarter. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. Worst case scenario, yes,
shit, yeah.
Mouth. Didn't
Like
return
5
for the rest of
minutes
the
and had
game.
to leave early.
Effed up my parlay. I was heated about that. Worst case scenario, a mouth injury is you chip your tooth. Put in a mouth guard. Get back in the game. What are we doing here? But no, the Pistons lost. That meant lots of Wiseman time. Metu actually looked pretty nice, not gonna lie. But yeah, they basically just fourth quarter they decided, okay, Cade, you got like 37, 7, and 8. So we're just gonna make somebody else beat us, and the Pistons don't have anybody else that can beat anybody on an NBA professional level. So good time though. Good company,
Did you seal the deal? This is what people want to know.
Pro all day.
I did not seal the deal. However, I know the deal can be sealed, so not worried
He's
about
done.
it. What the fuck? What's that?
Who'd you take?
I took a friend. I took a friend.
What does their name rhyme with?
Gianna. It rhymes with Gianna, but it's
Rhymes
not
with
Gianna.
Gianna?
Not Gianna.
Gianna here?
Gianna.
I know a Gianna. But speaking of somebody that could hit a basket, talk about Caitlin Clark. That was actually a lot of fun to watch last night. Absolute baller. Somebody on the other side, though, honestly, Angel Reese was a little underwhelming there in the second half. That's all college basketball knowledge I got. I heard she went off in the first half, but I didn't really get to see that
yeah,
part.
I think she started I think she had 10 straight points, if I'm not mistaken.
Reese did in the first?
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't have cable, so I had to find a roundabout way to catch that one.
A roundabout
way to catch that one. I do have Bally, so that was obtained legally. Shout out to Kalamazoo.
Shout out Kalamazoo.
But, yeah, I didn't have that resource for the women's game, so I didn't catch that one to the back half. Still a good game. Should fall out, though. You, Chris, sent a text at some point during the Pistons game. Oh, Caden Ivey.
Yeah, and it was the first quarter. It was like 10-2, and they scored the first 10 points. I send that text when I can to aggravate you, even if it's from afar. if I could just ruin your day just a little bit, then my day is made.
Scoreboard, brother. They've won fucking 12 games.
No, I know. No, listen, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. This team needs major overhaul, and it's clear that Cade is who you build around, which is annoying, by the way. That Pistons Twitter is still like, build around Cade Cunningham. It's like, we're still having these conversations. This should be the most obvious thing. But when you have, shout out to Bill Simmons, the 7th worst NBA owner in NBA history, Tom Gores, then I listened to him rank all 10 of the worst owners. He ranked him 7th.
Okay, I need to know who is ranked ahead.
Well, I mean, he had Donald Sterling, Robert Sarver, the Garbo piece of human beings. So
there's two.
Honestly, Tom got 7th place because of, like, not having a scandal. Like, it was just like the 6th out of them, they lost just as much or maybe even less, but they had scandals. So
with the other, that's okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Who owns the Knicks again? Tom something?
James Dolan.
He had Jordan as worse than Tom Gores.
Jordan was worse than Tom Gores?
I don't hate that take.
Here's the thing.
The
Pistons were like somewhat prestigious. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like we were one of the higher end franchises in the NBA history. To be honest with you, one of the only ones to win multiple championships too.
And now they're gutter dirt trash, and we have all these great sports on last night, and you guys want to talk about the shitty poopy Pistons.
And I feel like that should take part in like ranking him lower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus the Knicks, I don't know why I get it, a bigger market, like they get whacked.
Pistons don't deserve to be talked about
all the time. But we're spinning. We have Tigers and Red Wings once the show gets into it. Right now, we're talking Pistons.
Pistons fucking suck. That's all you should say.
I don't sit there and throw tantrums while you're trying to talk.
They suck.
That's just not nice. It's not nice to do. Either way, though, yeah, Tom Gores should be pretty fucking high. Honestly, should be top 5, in my opinion.
Get him out. Get him out.
Was James Dolan over him?
I believe so. I'll cut up the clip for you. I'll cut it up for you.
That's where I'm at with it, at the very least.
How was the crowd?
Honest to God, when the game was close, the crowd was into it. Like the fans want to see a winner.
No, I'm saying like what percent of seats were filled? That's kind of what I'm thinking. 50?
Yeah, it was weird because one side was like really filled and the other side was like barely filled. So I would say it was like a good like 40% attendance, probably.
All right,
like something like that. But
the show.
We were in the pack side, so it was good. It was a good crowd.
We joking around that you tell your girl that you bought the whole section for her. There's like nobody else in attendance next year.
I should have done that, but I was in the crowded section, unfortunately. So that move didn't work. But yeah, she was upset that Fettuccine wasn't playing. That's her favorite player. So.
Is she Italian?
No, not at all. She went to the Miami game. I took her to the Miami game, and he was the guy who scored a lot. So she was like, "That's the best player." Now she's seen a good Cade game at least, so she's like, now I see why you like Cade so much. So
agreed.
That was a win.
Nobody cares about the New York Knicks outside New York. Smitty's actually a huge New York Knicks fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for Melo, but he's gone.
Yeah. I was invested to him and stayed invested because the Pistons suck too. So.
Talking about LCA here, fellas, a place that will be packed on Friday when the Rangers come to visit the Red Wings. Spen Mo, you think that thing's going to sell out Friday for the big game coming off the...
Yeah, Friday after opening day, there's going to be a shit ton of people downtown. That's going to be a rowdy, drunk crowd, hopefully coming off of a Tigers victory on opening day and then going down there to see the Rangers in town for the most important game of the year. For the Red Wings, by far the most important game of the year until the next game. And that's the most important game of the year. Every game for the rest of the year is the most important game of the year for the Red Wings. So, yeah, hopefully people go out and support and sell out, and hopefully we can beat the Rangers. I mean, it's a tough ask. Rangers are, if not the best team in the East. So that's going to be tough. We know they play physical. Zibanejad has been on an absolute tear lately. Adam Fox is looking like he's still one of the best defensemen in the NHL. So it's going to be a tough team to beat, but you got to go out there and give it your best. You got 3 points out of Florida, which was amazing. So hopefully you can beat the Rangers at home.
Almost there, and you gave up.
Yeah, it's very possible, quite possible to be done. You're 1 point out of the playoff race. You got a game in hand on the Flyers. So we want Washington to keep winning.
Now, hand, 2 in the push.
1 in the hand, 2 in the bush. No, we want,
didn't mean it
we
like
want
that.
Washington to keep winning. No Diddy, 2 in the bush. But it's weird now because you want Washington to get the playoff spot that's not the wild card spot. You want Philadelphia to be the one you're fighting for that wild card spot with because you have a game in hand on Philly. So you need Washington to win so Philly drops down back into that wild card spot and you can chase them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you too. I saw Philly win OT last night. That didn't help at all, but
Yeah, that sucked.
Panthers, says Paulie Detmerds. Sorry if I... Metropolis. Sorry, that's a Slam and Salmon reference. But, yeah, no, it's either the Panthers or the Rangers who are the best team in the East for sure. And
I was so lost there for a minute.
oh, dude, that's a great movie, Slam and Salmon, if you haven't. Meat Drapes. It's Metropolis. Why does it sound like that when I say it? Meat Drapes. But yeah, it's like I said, it's either the Panthers or the Rangers. It's kind of just your taste, who you like better.
If you want, so the Flyers. Let me go back real quick. I actually ended up on the Sabres there. So they play the Sabres next, then the Blue Jackets, then they got a fucking easy road, man.
Yeah, those two sounded easy off rip.
The Flyers, they got the Sabres, they got the Blue Jackets, then the Canadians, and they got a tough one against the Rangers.
Yeah.
And the Devils.
I mean, Canadians aren't a rollover team. They're not great, but they're not bad. Yeah, so
Now what's ours?
the Flyers aren't great. Like, they've been overachieving their roster all year, so.
Who's that kid that moved up that got in like 5 fights and like?
That's the Rangers. That's not the
Oh,
Rangers,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the Sabres too. That's good. We face Washington again, which is huge if they fall back into the wild card spot.
That's
Need to win that game still,
That's
no
the
matter
most
what.
important game of the year.
Yep. Penguins, Maple Leafs, and the
Most
Canadians.
important game of the year.
Ours is by far harder. We have a way.
That Washington game is the most important game of the year. The Maple Leafs game, most important game of the year. It's you do got a tough schedule. You got a lot of playoff contenders mixed in there. So
I guess because we were gonna go Tigers the first segment. Let's just do Red Wings because we're kind of on it right now, and I want to pull up the rest of what the Rangers got. I mean, the Capitals got. Capitals got the Penguins. They had the Sabres. They have the Hurricanes, the Senators. How are the Senators?
They
Senators are
horrible.
not good. Yeah, they're one of the worst teams in the East.
Okay. Sabres again, and then the Lightning. And they actually have a fuck ton of more games. Or just one.
The Capitals? Yeah,
Yeah.
they got 2 games. Pretty sure.
Bruins, and then Flyers. Oh wow, they cannibalize each other at a certain point. So we're still in this thing. Honestly, we're not.
I'll bring you the odds next segment on how things are looking in terms of Vegas because I've put in a bet earlier in the season. It was like before the season even started, and I've been keeping up with it all year on the cash out options, and it's looking extremely interesting right now compared to where it was obviously a week ago. So shout out the Wings, and gonna bring it to you next.
Let's go to break. Chris, don't forget what you had to say. But first, is this my Shake Shack or your Shake
This
Shack?
is your Shake Shack.
This is my
There's
Shake
only
Shack.
one Shake Shack. The other one's QB Challenge.
It's a Shake Shack QB challenge.
Yeah,
right?
but on the paper it says
Okay.
QB Challenge.
Well, it's a Shake Shack QB challenge.
Well,
That's why I
yeah,
asked.
one
This is my
says Shake Shack and one says QB Challenge.
Guys, don't
Yes,
fight.
but one it's both Shake Shack, though,
Yeah,
right?
but one is called
okay.
the QB
That's
Challenge.
why I asked. Is it my Shake
Well, if
Shack
you
or
look
your
at the
Shake
paper-
Shack? Yeah, but then I asked.
There's only one that
'cause they're
says
both Shake
Shake
Shack.
Shack.
So then now I find out it's my Shake Shack. It
But
says,
no, there's only one that says Shake Shack.
no, there's 2 Shake. Because QB challenge sponsored by who?
On the paper?
Who's the QB challenge brought
On
to
the
you by?
paper, does it say Shake Shack or
QB challenge brought to you by who?
It's brought to you by Woodward Sports.
Brought to you by.
Woodward Sports.
Oh, it's a Woodward
And
Sports
Shake
QB
Shack.
challenge. Oh, Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
So
a valid question.
next time I'll type out QB Challenge presented by Woodward Sports and Shake Shack.
Okay, so it's a valid question. So Shake Shack's doing the QB
that's not
challenge.
really valid.
It's a valid question because Shake Shack's doing the QB challenge. So then I'll ask that question. All
No,
right.
It's not really valid.
It's pretty valid. It's the Shake Shack QB
When
challenge.
you look at the reads, there's 2 different.
Just it says Shake Shack and there's a Shake Shack QB challenge.
And then what does the other one say? It's on the second page.
What are the one on the second page?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the first page. They're
Yeah,
on the
but
first
look
page
at
right
the
now, and
other
it says
one.
Shake Shack.
Look at the other one you're worried about.
And there's
though.
2 Shake Shack reads.
The other one
one's a QB challenge, and
the
one's
other one
about
you're
the
worried
chicken
about, what
shack,
is it
Shake Shack
called? On
sandwich.
the page. What is it
So it's a
called?
valid question to ask.
Yeah,
What Shake Shack
it
is
says-
this?
it
We're
says
not going to be an
QB
asshole
challenge.
about it. We're just going to be
says QB
professionals about it. I know you're mad at somebody else. Don't take it out on me. That's a valid question. There's
No,
2 Shake Shack
it
reads
says
on the
QB
prep sheet. It's a Shake Shack QB challenge.
On the prep sheet, there's a
It's a
QB
Shake Shack
challenge
QB
and a Shake
challenge.
Shack.
It's a Shake Shack QB challenge.
Yeah, but it says QB
Shake Shack
challenge on the
QB
prep
challenge.
sheet. Slippy slop.
Slap two.
Two birds in the bush.
Two birds in the bush, baby. When it comes to chicken sandwiches, I have the sleeper. It's a Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich. Try the Chicken Shack sandwich for free today with a $10 purchase. Grab a shake and a crispy crinkle fry, and a Chicken Shack will be free. Just use the promo code Woodward in person, online, or download the Shake Shack app today. Promotion available in all 7 Michigan Metro Detroit locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports? Head on over to WoodwardSports.com. Click the shop tab today. Get yourself brand new hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads, updated weekly. Check out WoodwardSports.com. Click the shop tab today and get yourself some brand new Detroit sports.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined my guy Spimo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, rest in peace, John Kloss.
R.I.P.
And on to the Detroit Red Wings. What are the odds, Nick? I don't. You said it in a devious manner. I'm kind of nervous here.
The Red Wings have now moved in front of the Philadelphia Flyers at minus 115. So they are expected to make the playoffs over the Flyers that are at a minus 113. So just slightly, by the slightest number below it. But yeah, the Red Wings are now expected to make the playoffs.
A lot of skin on our teeth. A lot of hair on our nuts. Looks like they're a favorite to make the playoffs now. Wowee, how times change.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not confident. I'm not confident. Like,
what was it one more time? Minus
115.
Minus 115.
Minus, though.
Shake Shack QB channel.
You remember, I think it was like a week ago, maybe.
You're an asshole.
I think it was like a week ago today. I was like, yeah, when we're cooking up parlays and you get like a plus 160, you're not like, oh, that's way too juicy before Spencer jumped off the bus here. But last night, does that win give you any hope winning in Tampa Bay and going to overtime with Florida the game before?
It's big. It's huge for sure. Like getting 3 points out of that Florida trip is something nobody expected. If you would have told me they were going out of Florida with 1 point, I would have been happy with that. Like, you leave Florida with 3 points, that is huge for what you have to do. Those are two amazing teams, two teams that are further along than you. And yeah, I'd say you got the world is in your hands now. Like, your destiny is in your hands. You got to control it. Like, it's no more Jesus take the wheel. You guys got to take the wheel and you got to steer this thing into the playoffs. So yeah, I'm excited for them, but fuck, man, I don't know. We could go into Tampa Bay and win, and then we can get blown out at home to the Yotes. Like, even without Dylan Larkin, that's not an excusable thing. Like, you can't let that happen. Even if you don't have Dylan Larkin, you can't lose at home to Coyotes. So we'll see, man. It's man. There's a lot of games to be played left, a lot of tough opponents still on the schedule, but you control your own destiny. You got to go out there. If you want to make the playoffs, go out there and make the playoffs. Go out there and kick ass and take names.
Absolutely. And who's kicking ass and taking names? A guy with a couple cups on his resume, or at least one for sure. I'm not a big hockey guy, but that is Kaner. Numero 88. And if you can, Chris, if you have it, can we 3-cam this goal that nobody is talking about, and I don't understand why. Is it because I'm not a hockey guy? I'm not used to seeing these things?
No,
but I also know
this
is fucking Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Like, is he still the best in the? No, who's the best now?
Probably Bob.
This is backhand, back shot, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Listen,
backhand from
let it keep going because it's gonna give you another look
backhand
here in a
from
minute
like
here.
10,
Better, at
10
least.
feet away from the goal, just upper cheddar. Like,
Bro.
this is a nasty, nasty goal, and this is a Patrick Kane goal, and it's scary. It's scary when you see things like that happen, because just
Here we go, baby. Here we
absolutely nasty. Obviously, Dylan Larkin gets it from Lucas Raymond. He puts the shot on net, or from DeBrincat. I'm sorry. Puts the shot on net, bounces off of Vass's pads.
Bro!
And then Kane just flips it top shelf from the backhand.
That's filthy.
That's a
Why
nasty
is no
goal.
one talking about this?
That is a nasty goal.
Filthy, disgusting, and just at one point with Kane, because we're talking about the game as well, but like, have you noticed, even back in Chicago, and I know that's Chicago, they're not shit, but in overtime, it was him who scored the game winner.
Yeah.
Even like every clutch moment we've come across,
That's what he does.
it's been Kane to answer.
That's why he's Showtime. That's why he's called Showtime. He gets up for those moments. Like, no Diddy. He goes out there and he takes care of business. He shines when the lights are the brightest. Like, that's how he's been his whole career. That's how he still is. That's why he's the greatest American-born hockey player in the history of the planet Earth. So
That motherfucker back there is not real.
It's true. Like that. It's not something like you think it's gonna stop eventually. You're like, all right, Showtime. You're not gonna hit the fucking game winner. You're not gonna hit the overtime winner. You're not gonna bring this team out of the dirt. He does it every time. That's what he's been doing his whole
At
career.
35 years old.
Yeah.
Coming back from a hip injury that nobody else has come back from. At least not to finish out a season. And here he is on the cusp of
Not
making
to
the
be
playoffs.
a point a game guy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think he has 11 the last 10 games or something like that. Like it's to the point where it's like, I shouldn't have to tell you guys this, especially you guys that do watch hockey. Like I am new to, and I've always known who Patrick Kane was because of the Blackhawks and what they've done in the past. But I just didn't know, like, I don't know, man. We're just witnessing greatness, and if we don't make the playoffs for us and Hockey Town and its greatness in itself, I for damn sure want to make it for the guy who took a chance on this franchise to come here and compete in the playoffs and, dare I say, even win a championship. Now, that part gets crazy because we're still fighting for a wild card, but we know how it gets to the NHL, or I'm sorry, the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's anything can happen. And we have a guy like that who shows up in those big-time moments. His nickname's literally Showtime. I like it. And it's probably a big reason why those odds went up too, Nick. They probably saw that goal and was like, God damn, they got that bad man.
We swept the season series.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Against
is also
Tampa
crazy.
effing Bay.
Yeah, and
that's
like,
insane.
Vasilevsky is having a down year. Like I'd put Shesterkin over him. I'd probably put Bobrovsky over him, and maybe somebody else. But he's still Andre Vasilevsky. He still is the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have in a nasty lineup even after losing. I forget who they lost earlier in the year. I can't remember, but
What?
it's still I can't remember.
Lightning got it,
Yeah.
injured guy? Oh, yeah.
Was Hudman out there?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
so.
Hedman was out there. Was it Kucherov that got hurt?
Can I ask this though? Because I was having a conversation with our guy Mike, and he had mentioned, because I've been asking it all year. I know that we've been top 10 power play, and that's kind of like falling off the cliff there a little bit. And I was talking to our boy Mikey. It's still there a bit, but like he said, they're changing the lineups a lot with the power play. Did you guys know why? I mean, is there any rhyme or outside of obviously the injury to Larkin? Any rhyme or reason why we're messing around with the power play lines that were filthy the entire season beforehand? Like
I mean, when you hit a lull like they did, like when you lose 7 out of 8 games,
just try and catch something new.
you just got to shake it up a little
Yeah.
bit. That's what happens. I mean, obviously, if they were hot and they were pumping out and doing great, then you keep it going. But when you hit a lull like they did and you're not scoring goals, you got to shake some things up. Sergachev, yeah, it was Sergachev who got hurt. That's what it was.
And then the other part too is I personally feel like, and I've been saying this all year, by the way, when we do talk hockey, that I feel like we rely too much on the power play. I remember asking you, Nick, that like a couple months back, like, does it feel like we rely too much on that power play? And you guys said no, because it's still part of the game. You get the power play, but it's like we kind of, although they got a shorthanded goal last night, it just feels like we need that to even be in these games a lot of the times.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely how you win in the NHL. But yeah, when you have subpar defense, you need to score on special teams. Like when you have defenders that shouldn't be out there for half of your defense are guys that would be bottom pairs on any other team in the NHL. You need to get the boost of scoring on power plays.
Speaking of defenders,
Yeah,
Speaking of a
how about your
boost.
boy Petrie?
my boy Petrie saved the season. Like,
Dog, everyone's ready to murder him.
yeah, Jeff Petrie. I mean, it doesn't absolve him of his sins this season, but he saved the season. That was an amazing play. It was an amazing save, and I thought you were gonna say how about Evanson, because that dude put on
Yeah, talk about a
clinic
boost.
last night.
So
20 plus minutes, he was +2. He had 1 hit, 0 giveaways. Like the dude was. He looks like him. He looks like him and Mo Sider are going to be a tandem of defensemen that will be top 5 in the NHL for 10 years. Like, these guys are fucking monsters out there, and I love seeing Evanson, finally get his groove in the NHL and look like he is a top 2 defenseman on a team.
Yeah, the thing, too, is, like, I remember I'm still a novice at the game. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but, like, when I was trying to get into it, a few times I was joining BDE, I would watch the Swedish League for, like, a lot of these scouts, and that's how I became the Swedish elite scout. And you guys hear all the jokes and stuff like that. But Edvinsson truly was one where I was like, damn, that kid, he's huge.
Yeah.
He's smooth. And it just, for me, personally, that's kind of been my journey through hockey. He's attached to him somewhat. To watch him at this level and see him use those same attributes, and honestly, even like almost like smoother and better now, like he's growing to his body a bit. Like that reach is a problem, bro.
He's a big dude, man. He's a big dude. He carries a big stick, and he makes things happen defensively with his body, with his size, with his length. And it's impressive to see him go out there, and he is more offensively gifted than Mo Sider. I'll put that out there. He might not be the perfect technical defender like Mo Sider, but he is more offensively gifted. And so once he starts getting involved in that more, look out. Like, this kid's going to be a problem. I love it. He's big, he's huge, he's Swedish, he's handsome. Like, what else can you ask for a defenseman? Like,
the handsome part.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I just shoot
That's
straight.
not shooting it straight, brother. That's shooting something else.
I shoot a ditty. He's a good-looking guy. What can I say? And it's awesome to see him out there, man. He makes plays. I'm just happy that he's finally getting his shine. He's looking good at the NHL level.
Which, by the way, too, you know who came back last night? Wallman.
Jake Wallman, yes.
And guess who still stayed?
Yes.
Edvinsson.
Yes.
Which means he's probably here to stay. Oli Matas, I think is the one that's at.
Yeah. He is here to stay. Those are your 3 good defensemen. Like those are your 3 good defensemen. It's Sider, Edvinsson, big gap, Wallman.
All right.
Big gap.
Sherratt.
Everybody else.
Hey, Sherratt and Sider have been doing their thing.
Sherratt's solid as a third pair guy. And that's why I can't wait for next year when they call up Johansson or Wallander to be one of those top 4 guys along with Wallman, Edvinsson, and Sider.
Unless Axel just takes over. But yeah,
Axel would be nasty.
Yeah, that'd be nasty for the
he's
offense.
defenseman?
They're not going to.
They're not going to rush him.
He's Makarish, dude.
They're not. Yeah, they're not going to rush him.
I'm telling you, bro.
I guess that me saying I always I thought he's a forward.
He's Gostosphere if he was actually good. Like, that's what he is.
You think he gets called up as early as next year, Nick?
No, it's a pipe dream. It's like Jackson Jobe with baseball. You know, the talent's all there. It's just they're not going to do it that early and start the clock. But one guy the clock started a long time ago. He's an NHL vet. Is David Perron. Shout out him. Yes. Finally getting a goal. Honestly, Perron's struggled for a long time this year. So if we can get him going into this back stretch, that could be a huge addition to this team's offense. Because Lord knows we need it. I mean, shout out Kane, obviously. A magnificent goal by him. And Lucas Raymond has really come into his own with Larkin out for as long as he was. His mentality has changed on the ice, clear as day. He looks like he turned into a grown man almost this season, and I believe he's still only 21 years old. So shout out Lucas Raymond.
Yeah.
Hopefully this team can remain hot. I mean, remain hot. They just won the one game, but yeah, I know that was
I thought he was scoring for sure. That shit was so sexy.
Should have scored on the rebound. I forget who it was. It was Fabry or Perron,
I think it was Fabry. He's
Fabry
always
had a
around
good
for those
goal.
rebounds. Yeah, he did.
Fabry had a good goal. You got goals out of guys you want. You got points out of Comfort. You got points. You got a goal out of Fabry.
Comfort too. That face-off just to seal that dude.
Yeah, that's what having him as.
Is he playing better than? I'm sorry. Was he playing like this when Larkin was gone?
No, he plays like this when Larkin's here.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have to be the 1C. Because Larkin's your 1C, so Comfort can slide into that 2C role, so he doesn't have all the pressure on him, and he's good at that role, but he's not a 1C. When he's a 1C, then he's going up against you put him in the fucking at the dot with Sidney Crosby, he's gonna get sauced up. But you put him against other 2Cs, he's got the advantage.
Chris, or are you just telling us to go to break?
Let's do that hockey.
Let's do that hockey. Well, I'll tell you what. If the chat wants hockey, we'll continue hockey. But the Detroit Tigers also played last night, also won last night, and are 4-0 for the first time since 2015. But we'll get to that after
Shout out Carson Kelly.
Shout out Carson Kelly.
Tell us about Feldman, Nick.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and
Feldman
first-class
QB
car buying
challenge.
experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch
Feldman
Woodward
sandwich.
Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
In your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings from Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at LesStanford.com. Les Stanford, together, let's ride.
Rest in peace, John Kloss. What up,
R.I.P.
and
John
welcome
Kloss.
back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, Espimo Rex, Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend. Begin the show today real quick. I'll get this out of the way. I thought Nick was messing with me. I don't know if that's what Silky Johnson. Did you really just order? Did you order us pizza?
Yeah, he said he was going to do it in BD.
Oh, wait. Yeah. What did we do to deserve pizza?
Shout out
Silky
Silky
Johnson.
I'm about to go grab it.
Silky Johnson, you're the GOAT. Well, I hope that's ours. Because, if not, we have some angry ladies
we go
here in
Christopher
LJ's.
Columbus.
Hey, there is no way that it's not. Right?
We just go Christopher Columbus it, you know what I mean? Discover some shit that is already.
Hey, that's what I've been calling you
I
lately.
think was it because we were talking about the pizza discussion yesterday? You know, deep dish or yeah. I think that could have
pray he
been
doesn't open the box, and I want to be surprised by what it is.
Oh, you know.
What was Silky saying? What was his favorite? He said
I think
Detroit,
he
right?
liked spicy barbecue chicken, if I'm not mistaken.
So for you, this is like for sure. You need to try this because you
If it is Silky, or if
you were
it
the
is-
one ragging on the.
I was
barbecue
ragging
pizza
on
yesterday.
barbecue chicken.
For sure ours. It says Woodward Sports Spencer Raxter on it.
Damn! Shout out Silky.
Shout out
Appreciate it, bro.
Silky. Ooh. I should
What a goat.
plates or napkins or something.
That's fine.
Hold off for a
We'll do it
sec.
during the break. Yeah, let me see what kind you get. 'Cause I'm curious. We had the pizza conversation yesterday. Pepperoni, way better than mushroom. Shout out to Silky Johnson. You're the real MVP. Speaking of MVPs, Mr. Kelly, Senior Kelly, which I know they both played last night. Who was actually catching?
Kelly was
Kelly
catching.
the one that
I'm
actually
pretty
catching
sure.
last night?
Yeah, I think they were probably. I know we had the catcher discussion, but I think they were giving Jake's knees a rest. I know we were talking about how catching is tough on catcher's knees.
So I know Carson Kelly got the home run, but we had two on the board beforehand.
Yep.
Who got that in?
So I got
They-
you. Got,
Let him talk.
It was
We have
actually
pizza.
no, because it was a fucking AJ Hinch masterclass again.
Okay.
Because they got Torque got on, and then Mark Canna bounced out, Mark Canna got hit by a pitch, and so he got put on first base. And so when Torque got moved over to third by a Riley Green pop-out because when in extra innings you get the ghost runner on second.
Yeah.
So Torque was on second. Riley Green popped up, moved Torque over to third, and then Mark Canna got hit by a pitch, so he got put on first. So then A.J. Hinch pinch ran Parker Meadows for Mark Canna. So you get the fastest dude on your team on the base pass. And then he pinch hit Colt Keith for Jake Rogers. So you get the second fastest dude in the batter box to freak some people out. And that's why when he hit a pretty easy playable ground ball
Who hit it?
to second base, Colt Keith.
Yeah, okay. Shout out the Rook.
Shout out the Rook. Parker Meadows is screaming to second base, so the second baseman has to go a little faster than usual. Colt Keith's screaming down to first base, so the second baseman has to go faster than usual, and he bobbles it, so everybody's safe. And then we get a Javier Baez sac fly.
Yeah.
Javier Baez sac fly. He got
he
the
meant to do
RBI.
it?
Yeah, he got the RBI because Parker Meadows is at third. And then Mark Canna comes up.
No.
Are we sure it was a
Not Mark
sack
Canna.
fly?
It was a sac fly.
No, Javi's was well, I mean, it doesn't matter if you mean to or not. If you
It
put
was-
the ball,
it was like-
thank God, I was like, the
Javier
bases are
Baez.
loaded.
No, wait.
I said
we're
the-
not taking that away. It was literally a sac fly.
I know
That's
that.
what happened.
I
The
know.
count was Chris. Look at me crazy. The count was getting up there.
He
No, it's
hit a
called-
sacrifice
that's what it's
fly
called.
to score a run.
I'm,
what happens.
I'm explaining it to Easy.
What'd you
say? Even if he didn't mean to do it, it's still considered a sac fly.
Okay,
you
okay.
know, so like you don't have to try to be.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do it.
No, I mean he was.
What do you
probably,
mean he didn't mean to
he
do
got-
it? He hit the ball in the air and it scored a run.
No, I don't know, but I don't think he meant it for it to be a sack fly. I think he was just being Javi Baez, swinging at fucking everything.
He put the ball in the air and it. What do you mean he didn't?
I'm
mean
not
to do
complaining
it?
at all.
Obviously, he'd rather hit a home run, but he got a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. Hey, listen.
Yes.
Tigers are 4-0. Not complaining. What?
AC in the chat. El Maga with a pop-up sack fly was a godsend. Agreed. We got
was.
lucky because Parker was on third, and it was a pretty shallow fly ball, to be honest. But it is way better than striking out in that spot, which he could not have done. Absolutely not have done. We got the lead thanks to Javi Baez. There's his respect. And then the big stick, Carson Kelly. Yeah, what was your reaction to that, Easy?
That shit was lit because you want to know what happened too is actually when they scored the first run. I meant to say it at the beginning of the show because I had all games on simultaneously. It was literally not even, bro. 15 to 20 seconds after the Red Wings scored their goal. Both, like obviously Tigers extra innings, like towards the end of that game, and then obviously in the third period for the Detroit Red Wings, like it was kind of wild how that whole like scenario shook. But yeah, and then obviously they got the same way we got the empty netter from Lucas Raymond. They went on and hit the home run, seal the deal. That thing was over. Speaking of sack flies, or at least flies and pop-ups, I'm going to you with this one because you defend them every time.
Yeah.
Torque. Mm-hmm. What's up?
Why don't you say anything about Riley Green, who's literally doing worse?
He got on base.
He's doing worse. He has a worse batting average and on base percentage.
Well,
Green also-
sorry, the hype isn't around Riley Green. The hype's been around Torque.
The hype's not around Riley Green.
I mean, I don't expect him to do. I think he's a more directional hitter, right? That's like Riley Green's bread and butter.
He's the better hitter.
I'm more on Torkelson because that's the guy people wanted to put in when Cannon was there at fourth in the lineup. People were like, "Well, it's Torque's spot."
Well, Torkelson or Riley Green's supposed to be your 3 hitter. Riley Green's the best hitter, supposed to be the best hitter in this lineup.
I think Cannon's the best hitter in this lineup in terms of just hitting it.
Riley
on
Green
base.
is supposed to be your 325 guy. Who's
I
hitting
don't-
325,
300.
Well,
at least.
here's the thing for me. I don't have that expectation of them being quite honest with you guys, just because of how young they are. That's why I'm going to you about the Torque stuff because you put expectations on him.
That was my expectations for Riley Green too.
Why are you deflecting right now? We're talking about
I'm just
Spencer
saying, it's not
Torkelson.
just Spencer Torkelson. None of the young guys are doing well. Parker
Colt
Meadows
Keith.
isn't doing
Colt
well.
Keith.
Colt Keith is not doing well either.
Last night, pretty clutch.
No, we got lucky.
No, what? Did you even watch the game?
You said he's one hit for the run.
Yeah, it was an error.
Which he got marked with the RBI for, if I'm not mistaken.
He hit
His first
into an
one.
error,
yeah.
and Javier Baez hit a sack. None of the young guys are doing well at all. Colt Keith isn't. Riley Green isn't. Spencer Torkelson isn't.
It's basically just Carson Kelly and Mark Canna right now.
So
which is
that's
scary. And we're
that's actually a very good
Everyone's
sign.
bitching about Canna too a little bit there.
It's a very good sign for the Tigers because those guys are going to get it right eventually. And being 4-0 with the guys who are supposed to carry your offense doing nothing is a good sign.
Torque is trying way too hard on launch angle. This is Caden Kiter in the Wood Sports Chat.
he honestly looks off on every single effing swing, and when he does get a hold of the ball, it looks like it's a blooper or pop-up. I have no idea what happened in the offseason, where towards the end of last season, he was hitting absolute nukes. But we know this. We knew this coming in. I read the numbers, you guys. He starts off so slow in March and in April. The first 2 seasons that he's been here, honestly, the fact that we're 4-0 right now is lucky. We are lucky, but I am not complaining because with our 2 best hitters, like you guys just talked about, you were arguing with like who's the better one. 100%. They should both be the absolute studs in this lineup for the next 10 years. For those guys to have like 4 total hits, one of them being a Riley Green homer, like
am I just talking to a wall right now?
It's absolutely insane.
That's literally what I just said. Like if you have these 2 guys who are supposed to carry your offense doing absolute jack shit, and you're 4-0, that's a very good sign for the Tigers.
You're moody today.
Well, see, that's
I
the
feel like
thing.
you
If
guys
the
aren't even
young
listening.
guys are struggling to start the season, this is a good sign for the team going forward.
Yeah, and like Spencer Torkelson's like Jason Tatum with power. Like that, it's basically what he is.
I don't know.
Honestly, I think you kind of nailed that one. I could see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting kind of. I've always had these reservations about Torkelson. I've had these reservations about the Tigers. And I guess I'm just wondering if they're valid in the Torkelson case.
He starts slow every single season. That's what I'll say right now.
Yeah.
I will give him a little
Kid hit
bit.
30 home runs last year.
Yeah, he started super slow for the past 2 seasons, but I mean, hopefully these bats catch up, because if they do, this is going to look like a scary team. Way that they're pitching. And speaking of that pitching, Spenmo, what'd you think about Reese Olson?
I'll talk about that in a second, but there's no, like, if these bats catch up. These bats are going to catch up. Riley Green's not going to hit under 100 this season. Spencer Torkelson's not going to hit 130 this season. Like, you can put your entire mortgage on that.
Who do you have more faith in?
Riley Green hitting over 100? That's...
No, not numbered. I'm talking about just getting it going.
As a player,
yeah.
getting it going, I'd say it's pretty equal for both of them.
You got to pick one. You got to put the house on one.
I got to put the house on one of them. I would say
I'm going
Torkelson, because it's easier for him to get it going, because he just has to hit home runs to get going. He's not an average guy.
That's kind of fair.
But yeah, they're going to be fine. Like Riley Green's not going to be an under 100 hitter this year. So yeah, I'm not worried about them. But the pitching is impressive. Reese Olson looked very good, and we're going to get into that more because my boy is on the tit tonight. I'm excited to see what he brings. Casey Mize, his first start in over 700 days, so I'm excited to see what he can do.
Spencer, did I not just do the dishes?
Yeah, what the fuck? No,
they're calling
it's
you,
not a sack fly.
They're calling you mom in the
It's
chat.
not a sack fly. He popped out and got an RBI, but it's not a sack fly. Let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm provides customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800 Stay Out. That's 1-800 Stay Out, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft. Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals and experience a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere. Mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products, save the date for 420 at Dispo Dispensary. Dispo is putting on epic events at all locations with over 1,000 giveaways. 1,000 giveaways. Stay tuned for more details at Dispo Dispensary. Visit disposhops.com to find a local one near you. It's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Check it out.
What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights live on WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy. I'm my guy, Spinmo Rax.
What up, though?
Young
R.I.P.
Chris,
John
Nicholas
Claus.
Koloff. Rest in peace, John Claus. Shout out to Silky Johnson for sending us the pizza. Smash the like button if you guys haven't already. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We're going to talk Lions because we actually got some juicy Lions topics to get to. I guess I have just one real quick Tigers question to get out of the way. How do you guys, what's the grade for Reese Olson last night? He started off kind of shaky there in the
All right,
beginning.
you give him an A. You give him an A. Dude didn't give up a run. He went out there. He took care of business as your fourth starter. So I was happy with what he did. His stuff. He got that slider working later in the game, and it was looking pretty nasty. So I was happy with what I saw out of him. And we got Casey Mize taking the tit tonight. Like I said, for the first time in over 700 days, he's going to pitch in a major league game. So I'm excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, I know there's like talks of there being a rain out tonight, but I know it's supposed to be rainy here today as well.
I don't know if
Hasn't
it's
really been the case, so I think they might play tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what the weather's looking like in New York, but I'd assume it. I don't know.
There was some
I'll look it up right now.
I saw,
I can
look
text
at
my brother.
Johnny. Look at Johnny Kane's Twitter. When you get a chance, there were some puddles on the sides, but they obviously had the tarp out early. But with last night, I'm gonna give Reese Olson an A+, and the reason why is his resiliency to get out of that first inning. That was the game saver for us because if we got down early, the way Sean Manaea was pitching, we would have been in trouble and we would have lost that game. So for Reese Olson to get out of the first unscathed was massive for this team moving forward. Moving forward in the game specifically, but for him to be, honestly, he has the stuff of like a second, third guy, and he's so young.
Yeah.
This guy is like, the sky's the limit for Reese Olson, and if he can be dominant for this team, I mean, this staff is so impressive.
My brother texted me and said that it's raining pretty bad, and it's been raining.
I just got the pause.
It's been raining all day, and he lives like 10 minutes away from the Mets field, so.
It's no Tigers game tonight?
Maybe. I mean, they can still play during the rain.
So I was, somebody said if it
Elgato
rains out
says-
tonight, it might be a minute before you see Foley again.
Elgato says, I won Grand Slam Fest. How do I get the tickets? Would you win it on? Did you win it on a show? Or because it's, I don't know. If you won it on a giveaway on the show would take care of it.
Yeah, either way. They said if it's rain out, that maybe a while before you see Foley. Why is that?
It may be a while before we see Foley.
Yeah, if it rains out tonight. Is it because of a rotation or like I don't know?
No, it's just
What-
he's
what do you
already
mean?
gotten he's played in every game so far. He's played in 3 in a row.
Wouldn't it mean he get more rest? Like, wouldn't you see him sooner in that scenario?
I don't know. Who said that?
Scotty Bentley.
Scotty Bentley?
Yeah.
He said if it rains out, it might be a while before you see Foley.
Not a while, but like, a few games.
I don't know.
Maybe he's meant an extra day waiting for him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe, yeah, because I'm not sure. Maybe he just wants to see more Foley.
That's probably probably misinterpreted.
Because it's
that
not
one.
like
That's the thing with text messages and tweets. You can't really, you don't know the context of like, what the thing's being said in. Yeah, so you could interpret it like either way. Either way, that's your Tigers talk for today. We're done with that one. For the rest of it, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Nick.
Real quick,
trolling
just
you.
your guys' confidence level moving forward in this team to win the division. I know we all talked about it. The odds, we were third coming into the season. What are your guys' what's your guys' confidence level moving forward now?
just a quick update. The rain in New York is supposed to stop at about 6:20. So,
Miss Slippy's car is green.
well, my brother just sent me a screenshot of his weather app, and it says it's got a 0% chance of precipitation after 6:20.
I'll let it be.
So they don't start until 7. So we could see it. We'll see. But
I'm down. I really want to see Mize.
yeah, I want to see Mize too. But my confidence is the same as it was. I think it was
6.
Yeah, I think it was at 7. I think I had 7 when we first did it. I'm gonna stay there.
Nick, before we went to break, I asked Spinny who he was more confident in, I guess, shaking off the slump or slow start, Torque or Green. Where are you at with that one?
Honestly, I think Riley Green is a better pure hitter. I have not seen Torque really do on it. He just hasn't been consistent his whole entire career, to be honest. We've seen Riley Green in 2 seasons be consistent before the injury. So I'm going to go Riley Green here based on track record. I think, like Spencer kind of hit on, he has the potential to be power mixed with average compared to just power like Torkelson. So I think Riley Green is going to get back on track here soon. But going up against lefties, it's tough for Riley. Honestly, it's not as good of a matchup. So if we're going up against a righty, I expect Riley Green to get back on track.
Which
we're supposed to go up against a righty tonight.
What is the projection of Torkelson? Like, is it all-star or like just slugger?
It was
Torkelson?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, he's supposed to be an all-star guy.
So,
but like
for other guys,
slugger, there's different levels of all-star.
This is year 3 for him, right?
Yeah, he's not going to be the average. He's not going to hit over 300. Like, he's going to hit you 260, 270 with 30-plus homers. That's his projection, and that's an all-star.
Now, for guys of like that caliber, I guess, like, is this normal? Like these slow starts? Broder, I know you're in the chat too.
Not really. I mean, honestly, I think it's if we are going to depend on Torkelson to be the star of this team with Riley Green loading up this lineup, he has to fix this. Like, we can't just start slow every single season.
Aaron Judge right now is hitting 143. He's only got 3 hits on the season and 21 at bats and 0 home runs.
Let's check out his last however many years in March and April though. I would not. I don't want this to be like every single season we are expecting Torkelson to start off slow.
That's what happens.
Can that be your homework
though.
for tomorrow?
Yes, I'll do some homework.
That's what happens with power hitters. Like, once they catch it, then they'll go for a while. Like, you give him his first one and he'll hit 4 in 7 games, and but they're gonna start off the season slow.
Shout out to Broder in the chat. You catch him and I on Dos Dion's channel tonight doing the mock drafts. He'll be joining us. We're coming in this time with mock drafts ready. I didn't do mine at work, so I'll try to crash one before the show. Well, I'll just use the one from yesterday. That's kind of lazy, though, huh? That's kind of... People probably want some new stuff. I'll do a new mock. How about that? But you guys recommend the settings. It's going to be on PFF. Stay tuned for that one. And then on top of that, I just want to segue this into just a little bit of Lions talk. The Josh Reynolds stuff, did we ever confirm what was the April Fool's thing? It felt like an April Fool's thing. There was I think you're the one that found the graphic, right?
Yeah, Woodward posted it.
You think we got April Fool's?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah,
I will go here though, actually, or maybe I'll save this one for next. We'll go to break a little bit early. You cool with that?
Yeah. We can do that. And this is Torque's. This is his 3rd year, right?
Yeah, we started like halfway.
Yeah.
I guess his rookie year was like half the
Last
season.
year was his first full year.
Yeah.
In MLB.
So it's kind of like his sophomore. I mean, I'd be cool calling it a sophomore season. Yeah. MLB does it that way anyway, right? And then like a certain amount, how many games, you know?
Yeah. I don't know the exact number, no. Gun guy, take your pants off.
I got one. I got a quote via SI.com.
What is it?
It's about Josh Reynolds.
Okay.
People in his... All right. You ready for this?
Is it about the...
Jeff Risden and Lions fans.
Yeah.
People in his camp were encouraging him to try to find a better place away from some of the toxicity of certain Detroit fans, says Risden. I know he took some of it to heart. Josh Reynolds, some people on his camp on Josh Reynolds from Risden.
Soft.
Yeah.
You don't want fans to talk shit about you. Don't drop 2 of the most important balls in the most important game in franchise history. Period.
Well, on top of that,
sorry,
too,
man.
He's on
we
the sideline.
backed you guys. We backed your team. We backed everybody more this year than any team I've ever seen in Detroit. If you don't want people to be angry with you, catch those balls. That's all it is. Like, there's nothing else I have to say. If you don't want the toxicity of fans blaming you for dropping balls, don't drop the balls. I know it's easy for me to say sitting here, fat, stuffing my face with pizza, and not being a professional athlete.
Shout out Silky Johnson.
Shout out Silky Johnson. And not being a professional athlete playing in the NFC Championship game. But this is what I get paid to do. That's what you get paid to do. So if you don't want the backlash of it, make the plays.
I don't know how. Listen, I'm not gonna buy into the quote because it just feels like that much of some pussy shit to like not be like if that's true. That is the acrimony is soft. That's some weak shit. I mean, like Josh Reynolds and whoever was in the camp who had that sentiment to say or share to him and part of his departure from Detroit. That's gonna follow you no matter where you go if you perform like that in that moment. No matter where you are, no matter what team you play for. This is the fuck. Everyone has a fucking voice. The worst part about it, we're affected by it too. We're here live on the internet every single day. I have Twitter profiles, Instagram profiles every single day, clipped up. People talk shit all the time.
Yeah,
half these people, half these people don't even have profile pictures of themselves or real names. They just talk. They sling shit. That's what today's society is. You're a millionaire. Well, there's no way that can be true. If so, you might be some of the biggest pussy that play for this team yet. And I didn't want to say it. I was trying to stop myself from saying that. But if that is true, that is truly the case. Like that's insane.
Don't be a mental small person.
Yes.
I don't want to get canceled for what I say, so I can't say the actual term. But don't be a mental Tiny Tina that I met in East Lansing and had a good night with. Like, you have to overcome that. You're a professional athlete. You're going to deal with criticism. Tom Brady deals with criticism.
Yes, dude.
He is the best football player of all time. Like, LeBron James is constantly ridiculed. He is one of, if not the best basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen. I talk shit about Caitlin Clark. She just went out there and dropped 40. Like, get over it, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's the nature of the beast.
That's a perfect example, right? Caitlin Clark just set the all-time NCAA point record.
Yeah.
Men's and women's.
Yep.
And we clown her.
Yep.
we clown the entire sport. Those women dedicate their lives to like becoming professional athletes, and we clown them. The entire internet clowns them. Like that's what today's society is. I'm like that's soft as fuck. I'm sorry, Josh Reynolds. I'm so disappointed to hear that if true.
And
the other part of it too
was
was like for you to drop those passes and then to also be on the sideline like giggling, haha, and hee-heeing. Yeah, no one's gonna be happy with that. I know you're passionate about the game, but we're also passionate about the game. As long as you've been a Detroit Lions fan, we've been fans longer. So to have us in that moment like that, and you drop the ball, then you're immediately on the sideline giggling about it, like that's never gonna be perceived well, no matter where you are. Man, the fuck up.
And yeah, a way to take some of that backlash away from that situation is you go up to one of these, and you say, "That's on me. I dropped those balls. I cost us. I need to be better." That's what you see leaders in this sport do. That's what you see. Quarterbacks have to do it every fucking game. Jared Goff, as much shit as I talk about that guy, as much shit as he does that every fucking game. If he has a bad game or a good game, he walks up to the podium, takes the mic, and says, "Hey, that's on me." Or if they do good, that's on my teammates. But if he fails, if he fumbles, that's on me. I need to be better. So I don't know if that's your feelings per se, Josh Reynolds, or your camp's. But whoever's feelings those are, that's extremely soft behavior. Like, if you don't want the backlash, make the plays. It's as simple as that. I get backlash if I say something stupid in the mic, so I try not to do it as much as possible. But if I do it, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to go to Chicago sports because Detroit fans are too toxic. Like, toxic people everywhere, bud. Twitter's a fucking cesspool. All right, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Pet the Best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They are family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
www.
So,
What?
at a place I worked, I'm not going to say the names. I'm not going to. But a place I worked, there was a manager there who resembled Bowser. And so we would all call her Bowser. And we would follow her around and go, "Bana, bana, bana." And like, so anytime she'd walk into a room, you'd make that noise. And you'd know that she was coming through. She's a nice lady, though, but she looked like Bowser.
Did Tyler Boyd sign anywhere?
I saw that rumor.
He's not signed anywhere yet.
He's still a free agent.
Yes.
Boyd at least had preliminary interest from Chiefs, Chargers, Dolphins, Lions, and 49ers. Caboli wrote. This is from Pride of Detroit, but it's also coming from this guy, Caboli, over on Twitter. I checked out the profile. I think it had like 700,000. It was up there. 300,000 or 700,000. Sorry, I don't remember that. But allegedly, the Detroit Lions had interest and said Tyler Boyd. And it's the 6'2" wide receiver from the Bengals. I think he had at least, this is coming from Pride of Detroit actually, had at least 600 yards in all but one season. He crossed over 1,000 yards twice in 2018, 2019, all while playing at least 70% of his snaps in the Bengals the last 6 seasons. Boyd fit in the Bengals' big slot, quotations role, but he also had plenty of reps on the outside.
Yeah, he is seen as a slot receiver primarily from other teams, but you know, when you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the same team, you're gonna put that guy in the slot. That's just how it goes. Like those are your 2 outside guys.
It's kind of like when Greg Newsom was playing the slot in Cleveland.
Yeah,
there's other 2 outside.
You got those
corners.
2 guys that are gonna play outside. So
that's fair.
If Bargain Bin Brad could get a deal done for Tyler Boyd, I'd love it. Tyler Boyd is a fantastic receiver. He's been the best number 3 receiver in the NFL since they drafted Jamar Chase. Like, the dude has been the best number 3 since he's been a number 3. So he is a massive upgrade over Josh Reynolds. I would, if they could get that done, I don't know how much it would cost. I find it very hard to believe you could get him for cheaper than what Josh Reynolds got, but I don't know. He surprised me before, so if you get it done, you get it done. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking at PFF. This is just from last year. 85% of the time he's lined up in the slot. Outside of that, he was out wide 14% of the time. And I get it. It makes sense. Like you have 2 outside guys in Higgins, and obviously one of the better wide receivers in the entire league in Jamar Chase. You're probably gonna have them at an X, probably more likely than not. I actually don't mind.
Outside for this team.
Yeah, I think he would.
Tyler Boyd.
But are we
would
confident in what he could do? Actually, because he did play a lot of outside last year when Higgins got hurt.
When Higgins got hurt,
and
when Chase gets hurt,
it was kind of seamless.
Yes, he's a big guy. He runs a complete route tree. He's a good catcher of the ball. Like, he's not a slot receiver. We're not talking about bringing over Braxton Berrios or Scotty Miller or random white receiver like that plays in the slot. Like, this guy can play outside. He would play outside if the Detroit Lions added him.
damn, he actually has kind of always played slot there. Let me get to 2020, see what he did there. Listen, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Am I believing in this?
I'm not.
No, I'm not. I mean, as you said to begin, like when you start talking bargain bin Brad here, we have Tyler Boyd who's done pretty well for himself as we just got done reading off his stats. Spinney told you he's probably been the best number 3 wide receiver in the league since he's been a number 3 wide receiver. That's very true. Is very capable of playing the number 2 spot. He's on the open market. I feel like there's a lot of teams that need receivers. There's also a lot of receivers in this draft class. However, I just feel like he's going to be looking for a bigger deal than what Brad Holmes is willing to give him. If he's looking to win, I mean, why not stay in a system you've already been successful in? And with the Bengals, why would you go and jump ship to the Detroit Lions? I guess maybe for opportunity to be number 2. Maybe on my DJ Chark deal, 1 to 2 year deals, kind of prove yourself and rise up your stock. I'm not buying into it. I personally don't think it's happening. I wouldn't be opposed to it happening, obviously, but I'm not going to allow myself to get excited about it, especially when we knew all these guys are visiting with wide receivers. I'm fairly confident. Even when we had Al on the other day, I think we talked about like the offensive linemen and wide receivers probably being like the 2 top positional classes in this year's draft. I say we probably go the draft route, and Brad also would love to have control of those contracts too. Where are you at with it?
I would absolutely love to get Tyler Boyd into this offense. We've seen what Ben Johnson can do, obviously scheming for these wide receivers as well, and we saw how big of a piece Josh Reynolds was at times bailing out Goff. I think Tyler Boyd would be a great, easy fix, but like you guys said, can Brad dish out that contract? I hope he can, because then you go into the draft without needing a wide receiver, maybe in the 1st or the 2nd round, but I just don't see it as honestly a reasonable possibility. But goddamn, I want it, that you could think about Boyd, Amon-Ra, you just go down the list, J-Mo, Gibbs, Laporta. There's so many guys you have to stop if you bring, there already is, but if you bring in another top tier guy, wide receiver to add to this offense, it's just going to get more dangerous. So, yeah, I would love it.
Chris?
Hey, look, I would love it. That guy was big for me in fantasy, so shout out to him. But he's a player that everything lines up after we stated everything we said. Everything lines up for this guy to look for a payday. So for me, I don't see it in the cards for the Lions to work. I don't think this is the right situation. Now, if he was a veteran wide receiver who was looking for that 1-2 year championship prove it deal, he lost faith in Cincinnati after years of not getting it done there, then I could see, okay, maybe the Lions have some appeal. But for this situation, I don't think so. I think Brad Holmes is going to go draft, and why not? Last time he drafted wide receiver besides Antonio Green or Antoine Green, who he drafted last year. The last receiver before that, if I'm not mistaken, was Amon-Ra St. Brown. So this guy's been shown to find things in the draft. So I'm not too worried about it. I think that wide receiver, we talked about it a number of times on this show. That's a position that you can jump right in and be effective pretty immediately. So that with the Ben Johnson effect, I don't see a world in which you need to get one, especially one that's going to cost that kind of money that Tyler Boyd is going to cost. As much as I like him.
And if I may, real quick too, going back to those 2 years they had clips over 1,000 yards in the 2018 and 2019 seasons, those were the years he did play the most outside the slot position and only playing 73% in 2018 and 64% in 2019. However, I did go back to the 2 years previously before Jamar Chase was there, and he still was in the slot majority of the time, even before Jamar Chase's arrival. So he kind of is a little bit of a slot guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they took him out of it. And I mean, here in Detroit specifically, I can see him playing like that Z the same way Josh Reynolds did. But again, as we all have been saying, you can get that in the draft.
And Eduardo O'Neill says Boyd doesn't drop passes in key moments. He's a very sure-handed receiver, and he makes plays for sure. Jeff Berg had a good point in the Woodward Sports Chat, something that I agree with. He says, would rather sign a cornerback and draft a receiver. And I'm 100% on that same train. I would rather sign a veteran cornerback and then get a receiver in the draft, because the receivers at the position you're going to be selecting are some of the best in the draft. That's going to be some of the best positional value at 29 is going to be at receiver. So, or not positional value, I'm sorry. Best players available are going to be the receivers that are there at 29. So, yeah, I'm with you on that, Jeff. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I'm not opposed at all. However, the Detroit Lions did bring him in for a visit. I promise he's not leaving. No, I'm saying they did.
Oh, if they did, yeah.
I promise you he's not leaving, and I have evidence of that I will show you guys when we get back. But first, tell us about Lady Jane's.
DJ Reader taped to a chair in a basement. You're not going anywhere. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Their food is amazing, and their locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York-style pizza, fresh salads, sides, and more. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's Sarokis.com. Soroki's in Woodward Sports. Now that's crispy.
DJ, a one-way flight is crazy.
Yeah, I got there. Hey, I'm telling you, I look at the itinerary, I'm like, all right, it's got to be a flight home. And then it was like, nah. And then I kept asking my agent, I'm like, yo, when I'm going to get the flight home? It's like, they said they're going to book it. And I'm like, dude, it's like 5 in the afternoon. I still ain't got no flight back to the crib. Like, I've been up here since 8. I ain't got no flight back. We were trying to get this done. I was like, he's like, it don't seem like they're trying to let you out this building. So I was walking by one door, and some dude shouted out, he's like, we ain't letting you out the building until we get the deal done, man. I don't know who it was. I didn't even look at the door when he said it, but all I could remember is like those words getting said as I walked by. It was cool.
That's the statement from Dan Campbell. That is burn the boats. This is Hotel California. You can come, but you can never leave.
This isn't a joke. This isn't a tweet. This is real life. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes only booked a one-way flight for DJ Reader on his visit to visit the Detroit Lions, meaning they had no purpose and or intention of allowing him to leave the building. Matter of fact, the guys pointing the clip, point blank told him, hey, you know you're not leaving this building until we get this deal done. Brother, if this ain't proof that they want to win, they booked this is not a joke. This is something like we ha-ha at when he's coming to town. Mm-hmm. Don't let him leave. Lock the doors.
They didn't let him leave.
They literally didn't let him leave.
You're not going anywhere. It's literally like, hey, DJ Reader, I like you, and I want you. And that's like, no Diddy. You keep him here. This is the type of guy you keep here. This is the type of guy you don't let walk out of those doors because of what he does to every other piece of your defense. He makes every other piece of your defense better. Brad Holmes knew it. Dan Campbell knew it. They said you can check out anytime you'd like, but you can never leave. You're staying here for good. And guess what? It worked. And that's not the first time we heard DJ Reader say that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell forced their way into his mind to make him a Detroit Lion. When he sat down with Dan Campbell, when he looked Dan Campbell in the eyes and heard what this man was preaching, heard how this man was talking, heard how this man said, listen, DJ, man, we need you here, man. You would be a great part of this defense, man. We think you fit the culture. You're tough, and we're going for that Super Bowl, man. He felt that. He felt that in his soul, and that's why he stayed here. I love this shit. Well, this is what good cultures do. This is what good environments do. They don't let good talent leave, and we didn't let DJ Reader leave.
And that's one of the things that DJ Reader had during his interaction. He was the fact that, you can have anybody coach up a scheme. Anybody could do that. But at the NFL level, or at just any head coach level, you have to coach up your coaches. You have to coach up your staff. Like, it's just, there has to be just nonstop, I don't know what word I'm looking for. I got cohesiveness, I guess is what word I'd use. And Dan Campbell has that. He's a true leader of men. He said when he shook his hand, it hurt. She asked him later on in the same interview if you had to pick one of your coaches for like a WWE wrestling match, who would it be? It was Dan Campbell.
Yes.
DJ Reader, thank you, first and foremost, for signing here in Detroit. You must have known you weren't leaving. You locked up the deal, but now you're here. They provide that to you, that they wanted you there by showing you that. I mean, what a tactic in itself. Like, just because that's another piece we wanted too. Like, he got hurt, and negotiations still could have been had with the Bengals. He said that didn't happen. So he hit free agency. He's like, well, they obviously didn't want me. They didn't offer me any type of deal beforehand. Let me just go see what I want, or what's available to me. And he was wanted. He felt wanted when he came here to Detroit. They addressed how they would use him in the offense. In the defense. They addressed how it would benefit him, the team, and everybody else around him. And they also just happened to lock the door so he just couldn't leave. it's how you do business.
And it definitely helps that you were, 5 minutes away from making the Super Bowl last year. It definitely helps that you are, one of the top 3 teams in the NFC, a legitimate Super Bowl contender for the next season. Those things help. When you walk into a room and you see those kind of men sitting there with that kind of intensity, that kind of drive about clear-cut, realistic goals, it's hard to walk away from. And it's especially hard to walk away from when they take your shoes at the door. So I love this, man. I love this attitude. I love this behavior. I love this culture. Because this is what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are.
Yeah.
They're just bros, dude. They're not, suit and tie. Oh, we'll do this, blah, blah, blah. They're dudes. They're bros. They're guys. They're football dudes that just sit down and freak out and pound the table after a draft pick, that are jumping up and hugging, that are screaming in elevators, that are so juiced with football when they see a guy that they want on their team, they don't book him a flight home because he's staying here and he's going to be a pivotal piece of this defense.
Listen, man, if you weren't bought into the DJ Reader stuff from when we told you to begin with, if you didn't buy into it after we had all 22 films on, you should at least, at the very least, if you respect Brad Holmes and or Dan Campbell, buy into it the fact that they locked this man to the building.
Hey, Brad, did you get me a flight home yet?
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Quit asking, baby. We locked him in. This is what elite organizations do. They eye a player. They know what he means to this team, specifically this defense that needed to improve. We know the offense is going to remain elite, but the big question to getting to that next step is locking down this defense.
Mm-hmm.
And they circled him as their guy, and they obviously locked the doors. You're stuck with us now. Let's go to war. DJ Reader, you, sir, are a lion. Let's go.
Just hearing that provide the evidence to me that they do want to win. And as much as I said go all in, and I thought that meant a little bit more acquisitions, maybe a little bit more higher end talent, they're doing it, but they're going about their way, which is how bargain bin Brad goes about it. Mm-hmm. He's going to continue to do so. And I think we discussed in this show multiple times too, like possibilities of him trading up in this year's draft. I'm kind of leaning towards that kind of stuff, man. Like, I forgot, I think it was, who was the guy on NFL Network who was the mock drafts? Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. They had like a little podcast. I think it's called like the Sticks or whatever it is. But they're just talking about a couple of GMs and they're like, yeah, there's probably like 17 guys, which is still a lot of this draft class that they feel are like elite guys. Like, they feel like if you're in this draft and you're at like pick 5, like somewhere where a team might want to trade up and get a quarterback, that you'd be safe to move back as long as you're within that top 20, top 17. You're still going to get just as good of a caliber player as you wanted it where you originally were. And I think Brad, we've seen him assess drafts that way, and he's acquired more picks to grab those guys. So I'm kind of buying into a possibility where he trades up and grabs, we've been mentioning games like Jared Verse. I'm out to throw Latu out there too. I mean, they did an all defensive draft on that podcast. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's Shooting the Sticks, whatever it is. Latu was number 1 off the board. And I've kind of been like, not as high on him just because of like the age. And I felt like some of his dominance was just that he's basically a pro guy at that point going against college kids. But if he's still being viewed as that top 17 by Brad and company, like, go get him.
Yes.
Go get whoever it is. If it's Terrion Arnold, if it's Nate Witt, I mean, whoever the hell it is, if Brad's moving up to get him, I'm even more happy. Oh, I just saw Dallas Turner in the Woodward Sports Show. Who did that? Chef Talks. That would be crazy.
These are win now moves. These are we got a Super Bowl to chase moves. These are we need better players in here to make this defense better moves. DJ Reader, Carlton Davis, you go out there, you pay the price, you get a top flight talent at that position. We've seen him do it in the draft before. He's got the ammo. He's not worried about what the future is. He's worried about right now.
Danny G, I feel that comment. Danny G in Woodward Sports Chat. This regime makes me smile uncontrollably. I agree. And I feel stupid sometimes because you're just smiling like you're stupid. But it's like, well, we've never had this, bro. And outside of like having like competence, it's also like elite level. Like Brad Holmes just voted executive of the year. Like it's more than just like having the competence. It's also like top tier at the position. Yeah. Speaking of that, and I probably should save this because it is its own topic as well, but like, and I get it, everyone loves Dan Campbell. We know that by far anyway. But the Fox coaching poll they've been doing, NFL and Fox, they've had like the tournament style, did all the March Madness style for like the NFL head coaches.
Style,
yeah, bracket, there you go. And you come down to Dan Campbell and Andy Reid as the two coaches, like everybody in America, everybody who voted on that at least would want as their coaches. And it's like, you smile and control because it's real. And on top of that, what Spinney said too, they're also like just dope dudes. Mm-hmm. Like Dan Campbell's funny as shit. Brad, I mean, a little bit more serious, but also like he'll talk his shit, which makes me laugh. It brings comfort to me. I love it, man. We're this when Greeny made those comments is why I feel he sounded stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
These are the pieces he like didn't take into consideration.
Because Greeny doesn't know what he's talking about. All respect due, like, which is none on this topic. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about when he says shit like that. Because he obviously hasn't paid attention to what they're doing. They weren't building a one and done team. Oh, their window's over. Yeah, so all of these fantastic draft picks that every single critic and every single GM has said been the best drafts of the past couple of years, they're just not going to be good anymore. He's just not going to continue to do that. Like, that's just clickbait bullshit from ESPN.
Fuck them. What up, though, Marvin Tolbert? Woodward Heavyweights OG from back when we were
Shout out Marvin Tolbert.
It's been a minute, man. Shout out to you. Chris, where you at?
I love this stuff because
man. Where you at?
Where you at?
One of my most cherished possessions is the 2004 Pistons Championship DVD, where you're hearing the players narrate and tell all these stories. And stories like this are the ones that I look at. Like you mentioned the 30 for 30. Like these are the ones that feel like when you're digging into this championship season after it's done, and you're getting all these cool stories about the culture that was built, the team, why this team was special. These are glimpses into that. So to get these kind of stories, man, you love it. And, you know, like you said, it makes you smile. It makes you excited to talk about this team. And it makes you, I can't wait for kickoff, man. I'm there. I'm there with it.
It's kind of cool, too, because like obviously this one didn't come through the Detroit Lions like social media pages. Shout out to Up and Adam. Shout out to my guy Matt Hamilton.
Shout out
working with those guys.
Shout out K.
Shout out K.
She liked my tweet one time.
God, shut up.
I was letting everyone know. You know what I'm saying? But
talk is cheap, motherfucker.
Even going back to Inside the Den, where they're kind of showing like the sit down conversations they're having with Jameson Williams, Aiden Hutchinson, like the entire draft process. Like as Chris said, it is kind of a little bit of a peek into like something special that's truly happening. And again, even if it. And I'm going to knock on wood for this one, but even if it doesn't mean a Super Bowl championship per se,
don't say that.
I know.
Don't say that.
I know. Don't say that. But I'm just glad that we have confidence here, bro. I'm glad to be part of like winning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm glad to be in the conversation. Now, probably after a while, I'll get a little bit tone deaf to that. I'll be like, we got to get a fucking Super Bowl, you motherfuckers. But until then, I'm enjoying the ride.
God damn, dude. K. Adams is so fine.
He's
gorgeous.
Shams fumbled the ultimate bag.
I don't know if he fumbled. I don't know if he fumbled yet.
It could be just this on-air type thing where they like, a little flirty with each other.
Bro.
But
you know how it is.
Easy to your point there.
When you got multiples, you can't just like be open with like the one, unless you got it like that. Like
Valentine's Day, the worst day. Got too many to please.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but like not on like the show. Like you wouldn't even say your girl's name last night.
Yeah, you called her Gloria.
I called
Gloria.
Wait, what?
Easy to your point. It's sick that we do get a behind the scenes look. Literally every single month or two, they drop a new episode throughout the season. Like they are the best like media behind the scenes team in the game, and it just fuels the fire because people do not get sick of Detroit Lions content Everybody knows that in the sports world. And for us to be talked about as a top 5 Super Bowl contender, like, I could get used to hearing that every single year, and that's what they are building. 100%.
Burns says Mike Greenberg is a Bears fan. I thought he's a Jets guy.
He's a Jets guy.
Yeah.
He's just Burns talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Burn, hashtag me 31. Why does money go in the chat?
Shout out Burns.
What's your Venmo?
Venmo Rex. Venmo Rex. Venmo. Shout out Silky Johnson for the pizza.
Shout out Silky Johnson for the pizza. He's a legend. CMU legend. Yeah, if we are up there, Silky, I'm definitely gonna hit you up.
MPWMU says K's mid head case.
Trash.
That's just
bad take.
That's a
L take.
That's
He's
an
trolling.
L take for sure.
He's trolling.
He's definitely not.
She
mid.
might be head case. I can't.
That's even better, bro. What do you mean? I love a little crazy. Like, oh, never mind. Let me not get canceled. Tell us about Swiss.
I'll tell you.
You taking your pants off, bro? Gun guy's not
Gun
even
guy.
in the chat.
I would tell you guys about Swiss, guys. There's good news and the bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the state of Michigan. The good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Make sure your carrier is not slipping any extra fees or raising your deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell him the Woodward Heavyweight sent you.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Come join us at the Grand Slam Fest Friday, April 5th, this Friday at 9 a.m. And you can also join us at the block party for opening day. That's Annex, Love and Tequila, and Brass Rail. 1 ticket gets you into all 3 events. So make sure you go to GrandSlamDetroit.com to get your tickets or win some today in the chat. First person, everybody put Grand Slam in the chat, and we will pick one of you to win a ticket. It's Friday, April 5th at 9 a.m. The Grand Slam Fest in Detroit. It's in the Detroit Opera House parking lot. Put Grand Slam in the chat right now, and we'll pick one of you to win a free ticket.
Rest in peace, John Kloss. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodsports.com. I'm Easy, Spin More Racks, Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff.
Hockey Town is
Smash
back.
that like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Nah, Nick is back. Smash that like button. Smash. All right. I'm actually saving. I know where I'm going with this one. It's the Dan Campbell one. Is top 2 head coach in this football league. That's voted on by the people. Is that kind of like, I don't want to put it in this light because it kind of feels like disrespectful at that point. But remember when they used to vote the Madden covers? Which, by the way, that's when I found out Lions hands rolled deep. Is when we got Barry and Calvin back-to-back years. Shout out to Lions fans for making that happen. Never thought that was going to happen. But remember when Peyton Hills randomly got it? Because he's kind of like just like a folk hero almost. Is that how Dan Campbell lands number 2? Or is there like evidence and arguments behind it? Like, is Dan Campbell actually being considered the second best head coach in the National Football League? Nick.
Sorry.
Is it a little bit of folklore? A little bit. I mean, he's just such a big personality, and maybe this is more media based. Honestly, he's just so relatable, you know? Like, you want to play for him. You want to run through that brick wall for him. You look back at his first press conference ever. I think every single Detroit fan was ready to strap up the pads and go, honestly. And I think that's why, is because it kind of makes you, like, resonate just with him. And, like, you know, we were down for so long. It's a great comeback story, almost. It's kind of where I'm at with it. So maybe it's easy to relate to, you know?
Yeah. He is easy to relate to. I mean, you have a guy who hits the podium after losing a game and shed tears. And, like, I'm not too proud to admit it. And actually, I don't know if I have actually cried over a Lions game. But I've definitely been, like, upset enough to where I could have. And there would have been, like, tears of, like, anger, by the way, too.
Tears of joy over Lions game.
Well, yeah, tears of joy. But I'm just saying, like, he shows that true emotion. You know what I'm saying? The same... He relates to you. The same way Brad Holmes screaming after the playoff win. We were screaming after playoff wins. Crying when we talk about like this team's turnaround. Like you relate to him that way, and it's been that way for everyone. Like when we have guys on this show, and we've had like some pretty big names in this show, well, they have their own personal fandoms, their personal teams that they root for. But every single one of them, especially in the first 2 years, made sure to mention that they appreciate Dan Campbell and who he is as a head football coach. Even when this was the thing too, when I was fighting so hard. When people were kind of disrespecting Dan Campbell, wanting Dan Campbell fired, and same as we said with Brad Holmes, but more so Dan Campbell because he's kind of the face of the franchise right now. I was pissed, and I went to bat at it every single day. But it's because people from the outside looking in could see what was going on here. And we had those same people on this show, and they tell you, yeah, Dan Campbell is a real deal. I mean, I'd love to have that guy as my football coach. I think that's what it is. I don't know if I'm personally ranking him the second best head coach, but like I love Dan Campbell, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
No, I'm good. I'm done.
Spot. I would put him at I would say he's top 4. And that my 4 are the guys that were in the Final Four last year, with Andy Reid being at 1. I would probably go Shanahan at 2, and then John Harbaugh at 3. Honestly, I think he's a phenomenal coach, and then Dan Campbell right there at 4 until he can prove he can get to that next game.
So you got, who was number 1?
It's the Final Four of last season. Andy Reid, Shanahan, John
Campbell
Harbaugh at 3. Yeah.
I did do a list yesterday. I went back to it just now. I had Campbell 5, which is not too far off.
Did you put McVay 4?
Yes. I had Andy Reid, which these two could flip-flop. McVay, Shanahan, Harbaugh, Campbell.
McVay's the name that I'm looking at. And honestly, where are you guys at with the Shanahan thing? Because, like, you know, this is multiple years of deep runs and coming up short. Like, I'm not mad at. I have him higher. I have him second. But I just can't, like, I can see the argument knocking him all the way down to 4, maybe even 5 if you want to take
Shanahan.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
I got Shanahan at 2.
Honestly, he should probably be my number 2.
He's the best offensive mind in the NFL. He's the best play designer in the NFL. I got him at number 2. He continues to get to the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl with mid quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
He's never had an elite quarterback in his head coaching career, and he's been in the Super Bowl multiple times. Obviously, got to cash one in, but if he cashed one in, I'd put him probably over Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Like, because Andy Reid, fantastic coach for sure, but
has Mahomes.
You got Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, so, like, as of right now, I would go Reid, Shanahan, Campbell, Harbaugh.
Wait, Shanahan number 1, Shanahan number 2?
Shanahan 2.
Okay. Campbell 3.
Campbell 3.
Over,
as of right now,
John Harbaugh has Super Bowl.
Yes.
You think? Just an AFC Championship. 2 different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Do you think if
he
John
chokes in the playoffs every year?
All right, this is probably a little unfair. He might choke in the playoffs, but do you think if John Harbaugh was coaching this team, they're in the Super Bowl?
No.
This Lions team last year in the playoffs.
No.
John Harbaugh?
John Harbaugh.
That's tough, man.
No.
Only because, like...
How about no?
They're just different, man. They're different. Like, I feel like this team would even look different if John Harbaugh was the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a team that they go out and they make those type of signings that we kind of been or expected at least a little bit of. And DJ Reader is one of those. I don't want to discount that, but that's tough, man. I really don't know. I really don't. That's a great question.
Yeah, it's an unfair question.
So
you sorry to hit you with it off for up.
No, that's a great question. So you have Campbell ranked over McVay.
Yes.
Who's both the youngest coach to ever coach has a what I write here 70-44 record and the youngest coach ever won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Because he just got his ass waxed by Dan Campbell.
He didn't really get his ass waxed.
Got his ass waxed in the playoffs. Send you home to your hot girlfriend who JG plowed. Let me
bang.
No, McVay's up there for sure. McVay's probably 5.
It's my quarterback.
LeFleur is. Where do you have Campbell? Campbell's not in your top 4.
No, Campbell's 5. I have Andy Reid, which by the way, Andy Reid's a phenomenal head coach. I'm not going to discount that, but like I've always brought this up when we had these conversations beforehand.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, where was he before Patrick Mahomes?
100%.
Like I feel he's getting slobbed on a lot more post Mahomes than beforehand.
Didn't he make a Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb?
He did.
In Philly.
McNabb, T.O.
AFC Championship game with Alex Smith, was it? Did they make to the championship game? AFC.
So I don't think they. I don't think they made the AFC Championship, but they definitely were deep in the playoffs. I could be wrong on that one. You have to look that up. Yeah. No, so Andy Reid, maybe he's the guy that. Nah. I got Andy Reid, McVay, Shanahan, Harbaugh, Campbell. Like, all 3 of the guys outside of Shanahan have Super Bowl rings. Shanahan's been in the Super Bowl twice now, as you said, with mid quarterbacks. Like, Chris says he falls short, but that's not a knock for me. That's like you've been there. You shown you get that back there.
I had him too. I'm just saying there are that arguments, and
I'm saying it's not an argument. It's like for me, that's more of like a hats off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because we've seen so many guys get there and never get back. You know, trying to think of an example of a guy who's been there. And
I got
an
NBA one. It's like when people punish LeBron for taking that 07 Cavs team to the finals. It's like he overachieved with the team.
Yeah, so and he was so young. Then.
Yeah, like
how old was LeBron when that happened?
I think 23.
20. Yeah.
That's insane.
So he got drafted in
04.
04. Yeah, so he was like 22, 23.
But that's the fact that he went to that. That's fucking like looking back at that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're watching like Giannis struggle to get there now.
So he got punished. Like what?
He'd be 21.
Yeah, because he got drafted right out of high school.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's insane. With Boobie Gibson.
Hey, that was
I like Boobie Gibson,
that was
but
the
like
nicest player though you could have named. Like if you want to.
Oh yeah.
If you
Mo
want to say
Williams.
Eric Snow,
Zildjian Soldowski.
Yeah, Big Z. Don't hate
Mo
on Big
Williams
Z.
wasn't on that
Delonte
07 team.
West.
That was after.
Mo Williams wasn't.
That was the year after.
Was
they got
Delonte West
him.
on that team?
Bro, he took a little
Yeah, I think so.
crackhead to the front. I don't know if Delonte was on that team.
Hey.
Hey, he was. He was.
He wasn't back then. Back then,
We don't know.
Back then, he was just playing for LeBron's mom.
dad.
Yeah.
He was just-
Oh,
He was
man.
just LeBron's stepdad.
Nah, I mean, I have no problem
That's
saying
so
Dan Campbell's top
crazy,
5. I don't think
bro.
that's a knock on him at all. Someone said, how is Mike Tomlin not in this conversation?
Mike Tomlin's up there.
He's
for
up
sure.
there.
Yeah.
He's up
top
there.
10.
He just hasn't been relevant since they had a functioning quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good coach. They're just too loyal to like.
Mike Tomlin's a fantastic a fantastic coach for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not putting him top 5 as of right now.
He's won one.
He's won one.
The 2 or just the 1?
Just the 1.
The one against the Cardinals. No, they won against
that was
the Green Bay
Seahawks.
Packers.
He wants against the
Yeah.
Seahawks in
Yeah.
Detroit.
He's
no?
only won 1.
Yeah, he won against the Packers.
It was against the Seahawks in Detroit, no?
No, that
Or
was
he a different
Bill
coach?
Cowher.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Mustache. Never forget.
My bad.
Dan Campbell's top 5. I don't have a problem saying that. I love him. I can't just bump him top 3 just because of Dan Campbell. McVay got a fucking whole ring. But when we get back,
Another Shake Shack read.
Yeah. Let me read. Is this yours or mine?
that one's yours. That's your Shake Shack read.
Quarterback Challenge.
Shake
presented
Shack quarterback.
by Shake Shack.
Ah.
Shake Shack and Woodward Sports
Oh.
want to remind you it's always football season. How would you like to win 2 free tickets to the home opener? It's the Shake Shack QB Challenge.
Oh.
If you can throw it on a rope, you could be at the home opener. Register today for your chance to win at any Shake Shack location or at woodwardsports.com.
Shake
Or you
Shack.
can scan that QR code right there to be a part of the challenge.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? You should see what I did there. Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
You know the best way to wake up? It's with Wake Up Woodward. They were wild in today, that's for sure. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by guys from Rex, Young Chris,
The
Nicholas
game is
Koloff.
officially delayed.
Oh, boo, boo, boo. It's bad outside here.
That sucks, man, because what, Red Wings don't play till Friday.
Well, it's not canceled yet. It's just delayed. The start of the game is delayed.
I think it's good they didn't cancel it off rip.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe we'll get late night baseball.
That's cool. That would be perfect for me. Delay it fucking 30 minutes.
I'd rather sleep.
No, but I'd just rather watch the whole game from my house.
Rest in peace, John Claus. Smash that like button, be a friend. Tell a friend, share the stream. We saved this one to the end because it gets highly controversial. People get pissed. People leave the chat. People get butthurt. I've had arguments with my friends over this. My dear friends. It is the speculated contract of Jared Goff according to Ari Meroff. He put it out there. You got the graphic for this one, Chris. I believe it's $49 million. Jared Goff's upcoming contract extension projected to be worth. And that, again, that's from Ari Meroff. Now, was that in an article? Does anybody know? Or is that just like a podcast? Or like, is it a true projection? Or is it like source-based? I guess is what I'm trying to get to. Because I'm in the camp of like, I believe it when I see it. I guess. You guys know where I stand on this. I don't expect it to happen this year.
Where do you stand?
I'm not saying I'm opposed to it happening this year. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen this year. I'm not expecting it to happen this year. I just don't know if that's the move you want to make after the investment of Hendon Hooker. And listen to the way these coaches talk about him. Listen to the way these players talk about him. I just don't know that this JG contract comes this year. But again, we do have the entire offseason to get it done. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I would be surprised to see it this year. Probably I shouldn't just because of the hype speculated around it and being discussed about it happening this offseason, but I don't know. It's not one that I expect.
I don't think it gets done this year, but if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to pay him $49 million a year, I can't be mad at it. That's a top 10 NFL quarterback salary. Like, that's what they're going to make. My thing was $50 million. I'm not paying him $50 million. And that's not $50 million. So that was my cutoff line.
That is
It's
true.
been my cutoff line this whole time is $50 million. So at 49, I'm not mad at him at all. No, I'm not mad at it.
Chris?
Again, we saw Danny Dimes get 45, so you knew that, even with the discount, like this is in my mind a discount, a slight discount compared to what his market value would be. But I wonder if the 49 instead of the 42, 43, 45 that it seemed like they were looking for, I wonder if the higher annual means shorter term. Because, again, I go back to that. There's always been a battle on the years. That was originally the issue was the years. But now that we're getting numbers about the annual salary, that tells me that maybe they've worked out the years part. Maybe they're doing a shorter term, a little bit more money, and that's going to be his contract. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, if that's the average annual, that would actually put him, believe it or not, and then I'm going to refresh this, make sure I'm right here, over Patrick Mahomes.
But you're not signing him to a 10-year deal.
Yeah, that's to say, I get like it's also like just now happening. I don't know, man. It's more than likely going to happen. I've kind of just dealt with that, I guess. Like someone tagged us in this very post. That's how I found it. Shout out to Gator Mike. It's a fun nickname to say. Shout out to Gator Mike who tagged us in this one. You know, he said I forgot what he said, price on Puget or something like that. But like it's kind of what I expected around that, 45 and up.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's what it's going to be. If you're going to re-sign Jared Goff, it is definitely going to be north of $45 million. He's not going to sign a contract for less than what Daniel Jones got paid. So, like I said, if you're signing him for $49 million a year, I'm not mad at it. That's the going rate for what he is, for what he does, and for what the market is. So, I don't expect it to get done this year, but
And I get a lot of things I say on the subject matter is perceived as hate. Like even Denver Blair's first comment is easy. Did he not earn it? Like I'm not speaking on any of that. I don't expect it to get done this year. I guess is what I'm saying. Like it's not. Did he earn it? It's not any of those other conversations. I mean, Silky Johnson, shout out. It's the same thing. Similar sentiment that I am. I like Jared. We should wait until next season to extend him. I just feel like he's a big part of it is the system, the pieces around him. And when you pay someone that much money, the pieces around you start to departure. Josh Allen's contract starting to get a little thicker now. We just saw him depart with Gabriel Davis. There's already rumors, and I don't know if that's whether a cap hit thing or because he was an asshole thing, but Stephon Diggs, they're not re-upping. Well, they don't have anyone now. Because they don't
have everybody on defense.
Parsons
That's
and
true, but I don't think
CD.
they re-signed Micah Parsons yet.
No.
They haven't re-signed, who's the wide receiver?
CD
Lamb. They're not. It's just Dak right now. And they realize, hey, we have these other pieces of this team that make this work. I don't know if we can just go throw a quarter of our salary cap towards this guy. By the way, he has a little bit more of an injury history too, so I think there's a little bit more of a argument against Dak than there is Goff, believe it or not. But I don't know, man. And this is not a Jared Goff thing in general. I'm just not a fan of paying quarterbacks in general that much goddamn money, especially scenarios like this. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I'm with you, but the extension thing to me is like, how do the Lions have the season that we expect them to have, and that correlate to any type of less money for Jared Goff? Like I don't see those things. Like if Jared Goff turns down a $49 million annually this season and next season gets offered less, it's probably because he either got hurt or severely underperformed.
Oh, right? You're saying you don't see how this number goes down if they don't do it this year?
No, it's not going to go down.
No, I don't think it goes down, especially the Kirk Cousins situation.
Like, to me, there's not really an point. Like extend him now. Extend him.
Well, the
now
point is a guy who, well, formerly number 12, isn't he changing like number 2 or something like that? Yeah. The point's Hendon Hooker is that you want to give yourself the year to see what that is.
Yeah, but I think they're signing Goff to a tradable contract. Like I don't think we're looking at this contract, any of us, and we're looking at this is about fair. That's what Spencer said. That's what you said. Like the Goff contract that's being reported is about his market value, and I don't see a market value Jared Goff contract not being tradable. So to me, I'm like extend him, and all that does is like it's not a situation where you're stuck with this contract. I don't see that. I see this as tradable worst case scenario if Hendon Hooker is ready, or maybe that's best case scenario depending on how you look at it.
I don't know that you sign to a deal like that, especially if it goes up next year, then it is tradable. I don't see this that. I mean, just an example, he was traded, and I get that he's better than he was then. I know that. I fully understand that. But 2 first-rounders were attached to that man, and a third. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you put him on another big contract that it's tradable. Just because he's not perceived as a quarterback that you just plant anywhere, it's going to work. He needs pieces around him to be worth the contract that he's on, and no one's just going to be willing to acquire that without being sure of like what they have to surround him with.
I mean, I don't know. After seeing what Atlanta gave Kirk Cousins, like I think any team any year can talk themselves into making a splash.
Well, Kirk Cousins has a much different skill set than Jared.
Different resume too, because Kirk Cousins did it in Washington, and then Kirk Cousins did it once more in Minnesota. Like it's a different resume.
I know, but if you're a team that's a quarterback away, and Goff is the one quarterback that's available, you'll talk yourself into it. People talk themselves into continuously. Jimmy Garoppolo, like we've seen quarterbacks that are of a lesser tier.
But now the Vikings are in a terrible situation because their quarterback left and they don't have anybody to replace him, and they're in a dogfight for last in their division.
Well, they would only get rid of Jared Goff if they believe in Hendon Hooker, like for the Lions.
But you just said if he's the one available, if you wait after you re-sign him, Hendon Hooker might not be an option after there. Because Hendon Hooker's contract will be up before Jared Goff's extension ends. And you're not going to re-sign Hendon Hooker after you already signed Goff for almost $50 million a year.
Easy's so negative, Goff. But he is so football smart. Fools never learn. You won't get a franchise quarterback for any franchise quarterback. Hendon Hooker would never be a franchise QB. Book it.
And Detroit's Supremacy says Goff has a better resume than Kirk, which is true.
No.
Win-wise.
Well, yeah. If you look at everything as like to the naked eye, yes. You'd be like, okay, he went to the Super Bowl. He's a better quarterback.
And then
but it doesn't work that way. Like that's
Two
why
different teams.
I say all the time, context matters.
Yeah.
The context around that situation. Fucking stacked Rams team, right? You wonder why it was stacked? Jared Goff on a rookie deal. What we just got done having the conversation about, Sean McVay, in my eyes, probably the second to third best coach in the National Football League. There's that too. You have the context of Kirk Cousins where it's like, okay, two different systems. I believe multiple different systems too between coordinators as well with the Vikings and the Commanders, formerly the Redskins. And you see Kirk do things, right? I don't think Kirk is elite or whatever, but I just feel like you're more likely to, and again, define success however you want. I think you can put him in almost more systems than you can Goff, if that makes sense. Goff works, but you got to have the right stuff around him.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You need to keep drafting elite if you're going to pay this quarterback $49 million. I do think that's a good number for Goff. I think it's fair for both sides, to be honest, because some quarterbacks are looking for those high 50 numbers like Dak did, and the Cowboys just said, whoa, back up, Dak. You haven't really done shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they straight up are like they stopped negotiating going into the final year of the contract. We don't want bad blood with Goff. I don't think this team is going to put themselves in a bad situation, and I don't think Brad's going to do that either. But we know if you are Brad's guy, he's going to go up and get you in the draft. He's going to lock you inside like DJ Reader, or he's going to make sure this contract extension gets done if he believes Goff can bring him to the Super Bowl. So I will, with this one, I'll believe in Brad Holmes and the way this franchise wants to move. And if it is a $49 million deal for Goff, we better keep drafting elite talent because that's what you need to do to have sustained success.
Mm-hmm. And then that's the part of it too, right? Is like, I think you need the play calling too. I don't know if it just works. Like, it's just. I mean, I guess it could kind of work. You got the pieces around you there too. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll continue to talk about it if you guys want me to get back. I don't think that I'm in denial. I think you guys are. The 12% rule, if you haven't heard of it, is very real. Very, very real. And the only people to overcome it are named Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. Those happen to be three of the greatest quarterbacks to do it of all time. If there's a fucking Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but
probably all three of them are on
But
it.
remember, Jared Goff is that in the play action. You can't forget about that part.
Yeah, he is.
With an elite run game.
Let me tell you guys about Woodward Sports merch. The best place to get merch. WoodwardSports.com. Click the shop tab today. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. So head on over to WoodwardSports.com and get yourself some brand new
merch.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
The new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Canna, check them out at your local retailer or visit gloriouscanna.com.
32 million is 12% of the 255 point whatever the cap space is, but essentially $32 million.
So you need a rookie quarterback. Rookie contract.
Well, here's the thing. You could do this with golf.
Got backloaded.
You had to heavily backload
Or
it.
do what they did with Stafford's first deal, where he's got like a $70 million signing bonus, and then he only is on for $1 million of the cap space or something like that.
Yep, that's essentially the backload. Yeah, right. Exactly. You're on the money. Like
Yeah.
you gotta put majority of it in the signing bonus.
How does the signing
and then
bonus
like
work, though?
spread it out. Like
You
for
when
instance,
you sign the
What's the
deal,
cap?
the day you sign the deal, you get a check for $70 million.
Well, no, I know how a signing bonus works, but I'm saying, like, does it have any effect on the cap
No.
at all or no?
no, it does, but
Because,
It
like,
gets-
can't you kind of just, like,
gets-
baseball it then and then just, like, you know, like...
what's the word I'm looking
Otani
for?
it.
You pay your insurance.
Deferred.
Yeah, you pay your insurance and your
deductible.
no, it's an account. Escrow. It goes like an
Yeah,
escrow.
yeah.
And then it pays out like every once in a while. Same way you do with like your house insurance, shit like that. But essentially allows you to take like the money you owe them, instead of it all like counting per annual. Like a lot of people like do these numbers. You could spread it out throughout the entirety of the deal. Or if you count it, you can count it for like 2 years. But yeah, you could still do it. So like you could sign Goff to this, and then you have like depending on how long it is, you have like 1 to 2 years to get it done. More than likely, depending, I feel like it's probably gonna be like a 3. That's a nice one off the backboard.
Yeah.
You probably have one. I think it'd be like 1 year to get it done if you sign him to that, just because you have he's a little bit older.
Yeah, you could make a deal to where you'll have flexibility to do an all-in type of thing, do an all-in situation where you have the flexibility to go out and get some pieces like we saw Philly do, like we see San Fran do. We'll see what happens. But again, I don't think this deal is going to get done this season.
But if it did, again, you do have that one initial year where it's kind of low. Somebody said, look at Jalen Hurts. Yeah, it's $51 million, and they ain't gonna be doing dick.
Yikes!
Yo, they might actually have a good squad.
They got a pretty good squad.
They have the same amount.
Oh, you know
have
what?
the
They did
same
grab
win
some
total.
coaching staff. Yeah.
Same win total as
And
the
they-
Lions.
Yeah, they got some good coaches. They grabbed Saquon Barkley, Bryce Huff.
Saquon.
CJ, DJ, your boy.
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
CJ
yeah, I forgot they
coming
did
back
get
from
him.
revenge.
Actually, well, that's not even his cap. That's his average annual. What's his actual? What do I go on this to see the actual hits? Let me go to Google machine real quick.
Easy. If we had to like travel to Philly and CJ had like some interception and then like goes on this rant, this motherfucker in Detroit.
Honestly, I
crazy.
mean,
He would be happy.
Could you see it? Could you see it happening? What are the odds? Mailbag. What are the odds?
if he was still here in Detroit, yeah, actually. I
Talk
could.
shit to him this year.
All right, cap hit rankings for quarterbacks.
Melly just to get in the chair.
Deshaun Watson's number one with $63 million this year. Dak's at 55. Stafford's at 49. Kyler Murray's at 49. Daniel Jones at 47. Patrick Mahomes restructured his deal, dropped to 37. Lamar's at 32. Goff is at 32. Allen at 30. Burrow at 29. Geno at 26. Kirk 25. I already went past your top 10. So like right now, just how I said, did he backload it? Justin Herbert, that window's still kind of open because his this year is only $19 million. They still have room to play to go spend, but they're in a weird cap situation already beyond that because of the rest of their team. We'll see. I ain't tripping, but I'm not going to be told I'm the silly one when the 12% rule exists. Only 3 names to break it. Again, the guys on Mount Rushmore. Mailbag, though, Edward O'Neill. Do you think DC is the kind of coach to go for 17-0? Do you think he would rest his players once the 1 seed is locked up?
17-0.
I think you have to, right?
Yeah.
You'd be sick. or 16-0.
Also, didn't
No,
last
17.
year kind of tell you
Because it's 17 games now.
when things didn't matter?
If you're resting them, you're not gonna rest them during a playoff game.
Yeah, so you can go 17-0. So you play 17 games. So to be undefeated on a season, you'd be 17-0.
But he's saying to rest his players. So to rest them, you'd have to be that last game of the season.
Exactly.
So you'd be 16-0, and then you rest them for the 17th game.
So he's saying, would you rather? You think he's going for 17-0 or resting his players?
Oh, I think the whole team would want to go for 17-0.
Yes.
Also, too, last year, did that not give us any type of context where there was real logical arguments on sitting out because it was almost impossible for them to change their playoff destiny.
It wasn't though.
It wasn't. So I ultimately sided with play it out, but there was that contingency last year, and Dan Campbell was like, "Nah, it's not what we're about, man." So I don't see them resting players.
Hey, Cowboys were down 7 in that game early to Washington for that 2 spot. It didn't end up mattering, but yeah, Philly got blown out if I'm not mistaken too.
Yeah, it was still there.
It was there.
Steve Wild said that Mahomes will have a hit of $150 million. Is there?
That's an entire salary cap.
Is there truth to that?
Fellas, if Casey Mize pitches tonight, let's predict the stat line. What are you guys going with? Casey Mize back on the mound first time in how many days, Benmo?
Over 700 days.
Damn.
I'll say 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run, couple hits.
I'd like that. Yeah, I'm going 4 innings, 5 Ks, 3 walks, no runs.
3 walks?
Yeah, he was walking a lot in spring training. I think he carries on, but a lot of strikeouts too. So I think he's just
3 walks?
3 walks.
3? No.
Jesus. 3 fucking walks.
Silky Johnson won the Grand Slam. Dos Burrito.
Yeah, he did. Shout out Silky. So DM us your real name on Twitter or something, or we can just put him under Silky Johnson. That'll do it for us today, though. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button. R.I.P. John Kloss. For Easy, for Nick, for Chris, I'm Spencer with the Heavyweights. New episode on Amon-Ra Speaks coming out right now. So go over there, smash the like button. It's out right now. New episode drops, Amon-Ra Speaks channel. Go smash that like button. Appreciate y'all tapping in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.